Hi there, I'm Dr. Rolanda Fabien, wife, mom, educator, veteran, wellness enthusiast, and I'm also the proud founder of Bright Idea Consulting. I'm passionate about helping you thrive, prioritizing your well being, achieving your breakthroughs, and unlocking your personal potential. Here, we dive into practical tips, inspiring conversations, and transformative strategies to help you navigate life's challenges with confidence and grace. Whether you're looking to strengthen your relationships, practice better self care, or find balance amidst the chaos, you are in the right place. So if you're ready to grow and create the life you always dreamed about, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Now let's dive into today's episode and start building your brighter tomorrow today. Hey, a quick word. This conversation is actually way too important to rush. So I decided to give it the breathing room that it really deserves. Today is part one of a two-part series. Part two will drop next week. But today, I'm only going to focus on telling you my story, right? Actually, two stories. My story as a veteran and my story as a mom. Next week, I'm going to talk to you about a framework that I have built on the other side of both those stories. A framework that I actually use now to work with women who find themselves in the places I'm going to talk about today and are not quite sure how to move through. So stay with me through both stories. This is the whole picture in the pair. Okay, so you'll want to see both. I hope you enjoy today's show, and let's dive in. Before we begin today, this episode is dedicated to the ones that I have loved and lost, the ones who helped to shape me, the ones who believed in me before I believed in myself, the ones who are not here to see what their love has built. I carry them into this conversation, and I carry them into every conversation after it. This is for you. Now, let me tell you about a 17-year-old girl with a duffel bag. I was 17 years old when I signed the papers. My mother had to sign the papers too because I wasn't old enough to give my own life away. I had graduated from high school before my 18th birthday, but I had a plan, okay? And the plan was to leave home. I wasn't leaving because I was running from something. I wasn't leaving because something was wrong. I was leaving because something within me was right. And it was telling me that whatever my life was going to be, it was going to be mine to build. And I remember having lots of feelings during that time. I was feeling scared. I was feeling anxious. I was excited. But mostly I was scared because the moment that I walked out of my mom's house, I understood that most people don't have to understand what I was about to know until much later in life, if they ever have to know it at all. I was on my own. What happened to me from that point forward, whatever I became, whatever I built, whatever I survived, whatever happened, what I learned is that that was all up to me. And nobody was coming, or at least not in the way that I had been raised to think or expect. The girl, that 17-year-old with that duffel bag and her mother's signature on a piece of paper, she didn't know that she was about to learn the most important lessons of her life. She was about to learn that there is nothing, and I mean nothing, that you can't do if you're not willing to put the work in it. Hi, I'm Dr. Rolanda, and this is Dr. Rolanda's Bright Ideas. Today, on this show, we are having a real conversation about what the month of May is really asking of you and of me too. For a second, I want you to just take a look at your calendar with me. I want you to notice something, because this is a strange month. When you look at the calendar, what you'll notice is that you have Memorial Day at the end, and then you have Mother's Day toward the beginning. But in the middle, running underneath both of them, the way these things usually run quietly, is mental health awareness. 3 observances in this 1 month. And here's what I want you to notice. Every single one of them is about a kind of sacrifice that we ask women to make. So Memorial Day asks us to honor the fallen. And the fallen includes women who served. Women like that 17-year-old me with that duffel bag that I told you about earlier. Women who put on a uniform and learned to give themselves away to something much larger, much bigger than themselves. Then we have Mother's Day, and Mother's Day asks us to honor mothers. Mothers deserve to be honored. And mothers, all mothers, give themselves away way too much. We do it in thousands and thousands of tiny minutes every single day for all the years, and sometimes even for a lifetime. And mental health awareness, that's the quiet one. The one that is not really even asked about. I don't think it's an accident that these 3 observances share the same month. I think that the calendar is actually trying to tell us something. What is it saying? That the woman who serves in uniform, in motherhood, in leadership, is the same woman who's likely to be depleted. And she's the least likely to admit it. I am one of those women, and you probably are too. That's probably how you ended up here. So today, I am not just going to talk to you. I would like to talk with you as a veteran, as a mother, and as a woman who's lived through enough seasons to know what is really true and what is not. And I also want to talk to you as your coach, as someone who sees what you might still be hiding from yourself. Let's talk about it. This conversation will have 3 parts. The first part, I want to talk about what service has taught me about standing on my own. The second part I want to talk about is what motherhood has taught me about pouring myself out into others. And then the third, I want to talk about what these seasons of wellness actually work like. I want to talk about how you can start this work inside. So stay with me. We've got a lot to cover, but we'll get there together. First, let's talk about me as a veteran. I joined the military at 17. That part you already know. I just told you that. But what I didn't tell you is what that taught me. It taught me to stand on my own. It taught me discipline. And not the kind of discipline that comes from somebody yelling at you, although in the beginning of my career as a veteran, there was plenty of that. I want to talk to you about the kind of discipline that comes from the inside. When you realize that there is nobody else who's going to do this for you. It's the kind of discipline that becomes your character. It builds your character. It taught me to set boundaries and to set priorities. When you have a limited amount of time, a limited amount of energy, and a limited amount of resources, you learn real quick, real fast, what matters and what doesn't. You learn that not everything that people ask for you or ask of your attention deserves to get your attention, deserves to get you. You learn that no is a complete sentence, but you also learn that when you say yes, that is a contract. It taught me to be resourceful. Whatever you have, you make it work. Whatever you don't have, you find a way to get it. You either build it or you decide that you're going to have to live without it. There's no waiting for somebody to come and save you. Nobody's coming. It taught me the boundaries because in service, you learn that there are things you protect and then there are things that you let go of. You learn that giving everything to everyone all the time is not a form of strength. It's actually a leak. And it taught me resilience because things happen. They happened to me when I was in service. They happened after I left service. Some of them were small, but some of them were the kinds of things that will literally take people out if you let them. But I kept standing. I kept standing because I had been built to stand. And sis, here's what I want you to hear from me. Whatever you have lived through and whatever you have survived, you are still standing. The same God who built you to survive, built you to do something on the other side. There's nothing that you can't do if you're willing to put in the work. And that's not a slogan. That is a sentence that I have lived and still live. And every woman listening to this who has put on a uniform, in any sense of the word, you know exactly what I mean. Some of you wore a literal uniform, but some of you wore the uniform of a profession, like a white coat or a badge or a blazer. Some of you wore the uniform of a calling, a robe, a title, a role. Some of you put on a uniform and nobody handed it to you. You stitched it on yourself, sometimes out of necessity, out of expectations, or it could have been out of survival. And you have been wearing it for a long time, so long that you forgot that you can take it off. Are you hearing me? That uniform was yours for a season. It is not your skin. You can take it off. And the woman underneath it, the woman who signed those papers, the woman who said yes to something bigger than yourself, she is still in there. She is the one that I am talking to today. So that's what I learned from being a veteran. Now I want to talk to you about the lessons that I learned from being a mom.
Hey there, sorry to interrupt, but I just want to know if you're enjoying the show so far. If you are, this is the perfect time to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. By subscribing, you'll never miss out on the practical tips and inspiring conversations and our proven strategies where we're showing you how to prioritize yourself, strengthen your relationships, and thrive in every area of your life. Did you know that most of our listeners say these episodes have given them the clarity and tools that they needed to start making real changes? So don't miss out. Subscribe now and stay connected to the community that's all about helping you grow and glow. All right, now let's get back to the show.
I took everything that service taught me, all the discipline, all the resourcefulness, all the resilience, and I did everything that I could to pour all of that into being the best mother. I rearranged my entire life to be what my children needed me to be. I made decisions, big ones, small ones, that were not about me. I built a life around their lives. And I want you to hear me when I say this. I don't regret it. I love my children. Being a mom is sacred work. And if I had to do it all over again, I sure would. But I did make some mistakes, and I'm going to name them for you because if I don't, this is just going to be some feel good story. And I don't do feel good very well. I am grounded in truth. And so I want to give you the truth. Here's the mistake that I made. I took care of everyone else before I took care of myself. I took care of my husband, my children. I took care of my work, my responsibilities. I did everything before I took care of the woman that God had put inside this body. I poured and poured from an empty vessel. And I called that love. But it was also something else. It was a leak. I'm going to tell you something that hurts to say out loud. And I'm only going to say it once because I'm not here to get on this microphone and litigate my case. I am estranged from one of my children at the time of this recording. The version of me that I built was not the version that my child wanted. May have been what was needed, but not what was wanted. And the lessons that I learned from the wreckage of this season, I will carry with me for the rest of my life. I'm not victorious because nothing has happened to me. I'm victorious because I decided what would happen in me. Now, I want to talk about the woman who is in the pattern that I just described. You may be going through something similar or have been, or you might be doing it right now. And you know who you are. Your calendar belongs to everybody else. You're the one who has not asked yourself what you actually want because you are too busy figuring out what everybody else around you needs. You're the one who looks fine. The house runs. The kids, they're fed. Your boss, your clients, they're happy. The husband, taken care of. The job gets done. You're done. And you're tired in a way that sleep cannot fix. Listen to me carefully. If you are pouring everything you have into your husband or your child, your parent, your job, your church, and so on, whatever it is, you're pouring so much that there's nothing left at the end of the day for the woman that God is calling you to be, you're not being faithful. You are being depleted. And depletion is not a virtue. It's never been a virtue. The Bible doesn't say she was so empty. She had nothing left for herself. And the Lord was pleased. It's not in there. Look it up, bookworm. You're not going to find it. You can't pour from an empty vessel. Take it from me. You can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. You can't save someone who has not asked you for your help. You can't give your life away in pieces and expect there to be a whole person at the end of it. Take care of yourself first. And it's not selfish. It's strategic, because the people you love need a whole version of you. They don't need your leftovers. Say it with me, even if you have to say it quietly. I care for me first. And that's not a sin. It's called stewardship. The body is a temple, and the temple has a caretaker. Guess who that is? It's you. Take care of your temple. You've got a lot to do, and a lot of things are riding on you. So you have to take care of you so that you can show up the way you need to.
Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave you for today. I know that is a really heavy place to stop, but I did that on purpose because the women that I'm talking to don't need another quick fix. You need to actually sit with the truth before you're going to be able to rebuild. And I wanted to make sure that this sits with you. This week, notice where you are leaking and notice the woman underneath the uniform that's inside the uniform you've been wearing. Next time, in part 2, I'm going to show you what I built on the other side. The data that proves that you are not alone. I'm also going to show you the one practice that you can start today that will totally change everything in your tomorrow and every day going forward. Until then, remember to take care of yourself first, strategically and on purpose. And, one more thing. I am hosting a WELLth wake-up class. Now, you don't have to wait for part 2. You can join the class anytime. That's where the real work is going to begin. I'll put the link to that in my LinkedIn bio and also in the show notes for this episode. Okay, that's it for now, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the show and found something inspiring to take with you on your wellness journey. If you're ready to dive deeper and kickstart your journey into well-being, access all of our tools at our link tree at linktr.ee/Bright Idea Co. Take the free wealth audit to get started on the right path. And don't forget to check out our store at brightideaco.store, where you'll find a curated list of tools and resources to support your personal growth on your journey. You'll find these links in the description and in the show notes. And before you go, be sure to hit subscribe and also tap the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we release new episodes. Well, I can hardly wait to see you next time. Meanwhile, take care of yourself and keep shining bright.